Welcome back, everybody. Today we're going over the Sentry Arms AK-63D. So it's basically a Hungarian parts kit. The Sentry adds some US compliance parts to, as well as their milled receiver, and put it together. This one here you guys have seen before. We did a 500 round torture test with it last year. So we've had this one in for a long time. This is the exact same rifle that you've seen throughout the intro that was in that 500 round torture test. It's still rolling and going strong, so that's certainly a good thing. But what we're going to do here is get into some of the details of it and let you know like the specs, things like that on this particular rifle. And then at the end, I suppose we'll let you know what we think of it overall. But that's what's coming up next, guys. Starting up here on the muzzle end, you'll note that it does have the Sentry Arms slant brake on there, and we'll show you something here that we actually found from the 500 round test. Now it's threaded for 14 millimeter threads, so it'll take any 14 millimeter AK muzzle device that you have. But when we actually wind it off here, one thing that we had from that 500 round test that really did take a little bit of abuse was the muzzle device here. And you can see there's some corrosion and metal wear on the inside there, and that's actually from the heat that we got off there. However, the barrel itself is just fine. It's shot just fine since the test and has had no issues there at all. So I just wanted to report that. People are always asking about the condition of the gun since that test, and that's really the only parts wear that we've seen that's been significant. But that one there is marked with a C to annotate that it's a Sentry Arms slant brake, and to count for 922R compliance parts. Now moving on back, the barrel that you see here is a 4140 steel barrel. It's got a black oxide finish on there, and really the complaint that you'll see if you look up these rifles on the internet and the forums and stuff like that is that the barrel itself is not nitrided or chrome lined. It's not. That's absolutely true. So that's just one thing to consider. You're going to get a little bit of a shorter barrel life than some of those other options out there, but you guys have seen this one shoot a good bit of rounds through it so far, and it's still holding up just fine. Still shoots accurately. No issues there at all. Moving a little further back, you'll note we do have the bayonet lug in there, and any standard AKM bayonet will fit just fine. You can see it locks into place just fine. We'll prop it off as well. So bayonet lug is a go. I know that'll be a problem for some of you guys in the band states, but those of you that aren't and like the classic look are probably going to like that. So moving on up to the gas block, you'll note the gas block is vented, as is the gas tube, but that has not affected reliability at all. Been solid there. Moving back there, the handguards as well as the pistol grip have a nice blonde look to them there. The wood's actually really nice. Mine are a little bit damaged from the heat from that test we referenced earlier. You can see it around the edges and stuff, but otherwise holding up just fine. The rear sight comes from the Hungarian parts kit and is graduated out to 1,000 meters if you choose to use that instead of using your holdovers. Pretty optimistic there at 1,000 meters, but it is there if you want to use it. Top cover is the rib style. It does have this serial number on there. My particular one matches the rest of the kit, so I'm not sure if they're all matching, but mine is. The safety is also a Hungarian safety, so one of the things that's nice about these is they're a little bit wider here on the ledge, which helps you when you're running it up and down. Just a side note to point out there. Now the receiver is 4140 steel, milled here in the United States, made here in the United States. So it's a Sentry's receiver. They really do a good job with the receivers. I've never seen a bad review, comment, anything like that about the Sentry receivers. I have several of them. The 1960 milled gun, I think, is the first one I have from them. And the V1 and the V2 receivers are beautiful as well. So they really do a good job with the receivers. Now we have the little cutout here for our bullet guide, and you can also see the mag wall is cut very nice. There's no machine marks, very smooth. Mag fit is great depending on what kind of mags you're using, obviously. And the pistol grip here is really nicely finished, as you can see, and I definitely prefer it compared to your standard peg pistol grip. On the left side of the receiver, there is no optics mount, so you cannot mount side-mounted optics. You can use an Ultimac or something like that, though, if you choose to do so. The stock here is very tight. I'm wiggling it right now, and you can see almost no play. I mean, it's really imperceivable, so it's certainly a good thing. It has this straight back stock. I know some people like more straight. Some people like a little bit of an angle. It really just depends on his personal preference. There's no better or worse there, but fold it under, you're just going to push this button right here, bring it down, straighten this piece out here, fold it under, and you'll hear it locks up very tight as well. There you go. And you can see again, it's super tight. Definitely good quality there in terms of fitting the receiver to the underfolder parts kit. Disassembly is standard AK. We're just going to push in on our recoil spring here, pull up on our top cover without smashing the camera, which is what I'm trying to do here. And we got it. Set that off to the side. See our recoil spring there. And pull out our bolt and bolt carry. Take a look at these to see that these are the Hungarian bolts. And this one here is pretty well worn. That's what a bolt will look like after about 1,200 rounds through it, which is where we're at now. You can see it does have the serial number on there as well. Again, this one is matching. Taking a look on the inside, you can see great fit and finish there. Really pretty minimal wear on the receiver, considering the amount of rounds we have through it there. The trigger itself is the new Sentry Arms trigger. It's got those wolf springs in there that a lot of people like. I like them as well. They certainly do a good job. The trigger has a break right around 3.5 pounds. It's very nice. You can see it's marked Sentry here on the side, and it's got a little bit of uptake here, a little bit of play, and then it hits a wall. At that point, the break is very crisp. We'll send it back home, and the reset's a little bit long, but it's very tactile, very audible. You definitely know the trigger's reset and ready to go into the next firing cycle. Let's take a closer look here at this trigger real quick. Here's what the trigger looks like up close. You can see it's got the wolf springs all the way around, like we mentioned earlier. So definitely a quality spring kit there, and pull is great. The big difference between this and the Tapco, at least in my opinion from what I've seen so far, is the rounded edge here. What that does is it causes your carrier to hang up less, and also isn't going to cause mushrooming that can happen on the back of some bolts with the Tapco. Now, is it a huge problem with the Tapco? No. Is it nice if it's not going to happen? Yes. So that's kind of what we have here. And you can see the wear area right there that's starting to appear, and again, that'd be a little bit more pronounced there with the Tapco trigger that folks are used to. Reassembly of the rifle is pretty much the same, just in the opposite order. So we'll rotate that in, get it in, slide it in there. Get the bolt on the rails, put our spring in there. And before I actually put the top cover on, one thing I want to show is just what I was talking about there with the hanging up of the trigger. So when the bolt and bolt carrier are coming back, the carrier are typically right there. So let me see if I can change the angle there so you guys can see it. Typically right there starts to hang up. So on the Sentry trigger, it's already rounded there, which is what a lot of guys do to their G2s anyway. So it rides over a lot smoother now. With this milled receiver, it's also very smooth. So all in all, you get a really, really smooth action here. And no binding, nothing like that. So it's definitely a nice action for sure. Those are the big details on the gun. Now, a few things that we like about it, and one thing that I would improve or change, if you will, if they ever come out with a Gen 2. So basically things we like, it functions great. There's no issues there. It shoots reliably, shoots accurately. Now, speaking of accuracy, it does have the lack of the side rail, obviously. So I wasn't able to put any magnified optics on it, but we shot it on paper at 100 yards with just the irons. I was getting around 3 to 4 inch groups with several different types of ammo. We fired a Wolf hollow point, Wolf full metal jacket, Blazer. I think they make the brass case stuff. And then also put some Yugo M67 through it, so the corrosive stuff as well. Functioned fine with all of them, and had pretty decent groups with all of them. Now, I'm sure those groups would tighten up a little bit if I was able to put some optics on it and not rely on the old Mark 1 eyeball. So that's accuracy there. The build quality is very good. Everything I've seen, like I mentioned earlier, of Sentry's milled guns has been great. No issues at all there. The fit and finish is great as well with the underfolding milled receiver in there. Everything locks up tight. It's very solid, as you can see here. Mag fit's good. Has the bayonet lug and cleaning rod that come with it that a lot of rifles in this price range don't have, so that's a good thing as well. The one thing I think I would change if they ever come out with a Gen 2 or something like that is the barrel. I'd like to see a nitride treatment or maybe a chrome lining. Either one would be fine. That said, most folks will never put enough rounds through the rifles to ever shoot this barrel out. Now I know after I posted that 500 round torture test video, if you read the comments, you'll see people saying, oh, that barrel shot, I can't shoot at all. And as you guys have heard throughout the video, and 2 other videos, I think this one's made cameos in so far, it still rings the steel just fine, shoots just fine, it's plenty accurate, and the barrel's not even close to being shot out. The only thing, like I said, that had any damage was the slant muzzle brake here, but it still works just fine. That's pretty much it. Price-wise, it's pretty affordable. I know a lot of online retailers are selling it, like Aim Surplus, Atlantic Firearms, Triple 10 AK. If you want your LGS to have one and order one for you, they can either be, if they're not a Sentry Arms dealer already, they can call up and order direct from Sentry and get on their list and get one in. But like I said, plenty of great online companies that carry them as well. So that's about it, guys. If you have any questions about the rifle that we didn't cover here in the video, by all means, you can post below in the comment section. You can also post over at my Facebook page as always. But thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. And I hope to see you in the next video.